Yeah, for you guys, of course, going into halftime down, and then the second half, you guys eventually go up by as many as 12. What type of adjustments do you feel like you all were making that was working to get that lead?
Just taking our pride in our matchup and just our defensive intensity was there. I think that's why we was able to go up on that big lead, and we just took care of the ball. We got the good shots we wanted, and we relied on our transition offense, and that's one of the keys. It was one of the keys to the game, and was working early on in the first half. But we just had to put together a full 40 minutes. I mean, no, it wasn't a great, win by, kind of an ugly win. But the way we persevered and the way we battled throughout the last couple of minutes of the game was good for us.
Yeah, and then Hubert was actually giving you some credit for how you were doing with Pack, particularly in that second half. It took him a while to get a second half point. Just what can you kind of describe a little bit the experience guarding him both in that first half and that second half?
Yeah, I mean he's a great player. The way he's able to just his shot making capability is really good. He's able to create space. So I just kind of try to just make his catches kind of difficult. Pressure when ball screen coverages, and a lot of off ball screen staggers for him. So kind of just getting to the body and making it kind of hard for him to catch the ball. And then when he did catch the ball, just kind of make it difficult because he's a really good player. Getting to his spot. So I think I did a good job of just taking the challenge in the second half of just my defense, and I think that's one of the underrated parts of that I improved in this year.
Did you play out closer to him? Did you play out closer to him on the perimeter when he didn't have the ball than you had a lot of other guys?
Yeah, 100%.
It looked like you also took away some of his cuts.
Yeah, because I know a lot of the actions are ran through him, so I did a good job of just kind of just denying when he didn't have the ball, and that kind of allowed him to. They always say contact deny, when the player doesn't have the ball, because I know they had a couple of actions where he could go back door, but he ran right through my chest. So I did a good job of just connecting to the body and being aware of the actions, and I did a good job of watching film and scouting.
What did they do with the 18-4 run in the second half?
For us?
Yeah, they scored the first bucket, went up 4, then you guys went 18-4.
Yeah, just the way we took care of the ball, the way we got good shots, and I think our defense. We had a couple of defensive lapses in the first half, so second half we took pride in that. And I kept telling the guys in the huddle, another four after each media timeout, just because of our intensity, our attention to detail on both ends of the court was big time for us, so that led to the run.
Elliott hadn't hit a 3 since December, 2 tonight.
Yeah.
How much does that change things? And how much might that change how you're defending Sam if he consistently could hit a 3 or 2 every day?
Yeah, I mean, Elliott was getting great looks all night, and he had the confidence to go ahead and knock it down, and we believe in him. We worked a lot on his shot and then after practice, before practice, so for him to knock down those 2 threes, I know that's definitely a confidence booster for him, and always tell him to keep shooting it because they're going to fall and they're going to knock it down in big time moments. He hit a big 3 in the second half right in the left wing, so kick out for me, so that's big time for him.
Did they defend you differently than Clemson and Duke? It seemed like at times you had more space.
No, I definitely had more space, but I think I did a good job of I did a poor job of kind of setting my man up in the Clemson and Duke game because they were face guarding and top blocking. So I definitely took pride in just my off-ball actions of setting my man up to create that space. But also my teammates did a good job of screening for me. Mondo, Harrison, Elliott, Cormac. That's why I was able to get open looks, and I was also just trusting my shot. And it was working early, so just relied on that.
Do you think it was more what you guys were doing than how they defended you differently?
Yeah, I mean, Clemson Duke definitely did a good job of keening on me, and top blocking, phase guarding throughout the game. So just kind of going throughout the flow of the game and seeing how defenses are. But I also could do a better job on my end, so take accountability on that. I'm just kind of setting my man up and just making it easier for myself against these coverages.
RJ, you mentioned a couple minutes ago the defense has been an underrated kind of part of the game that you've kind of worked on. What do you think you've been doing differently on that end of the court, from the start of this year to tonight?
Just applying pressure, especially for my size, just getting to the ball a little bit more. I think my off-ball actions have been so far been improving. Chasing guys all the way around from Gerard down to Pack. So I mean, it's kind of hard, but it's also I think it's a great improvement and a key emphasis for me, especially if I want to play at the next level, just to take that defensive challenge any night. So, and I also, believe in myself in that defensive end, so I'm only going to get better from now.
Is there anybody in particular you've been kind of working with to, do whatever, maybe it's drills, maybe it's whatever? Has there been anybody in particular you've been working with on the?
I think I just did a good job in the preseason of just taking that challenge. Also watching a lot of film for smaller guards, so Jose Alvarado, who I actually know. And played against since I was in high school. Just like Jose Alvarado, Pat Bev, Fred VanVleet. Just like watching like the nuances and how they can impact the ball. That's what I've been, just kind of add to a little bit to my game, not just from the offense, but also defense.
So we're going to see you hiding out of bounds and trying to get.
I did a couple of that last year, kind of like in the little scrimmages we had. It's kind of hard for me to do it in the games because coach get mad if I'm not getting defensive balance. So, but if I feel like I need to get one, I'll get one.
RJ, along those lines, though, it takes a lot of energy to score 25 points.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how hard that is. I mean, in the second half, you're having Chase Pack all around everywhere. Mm-hmm. How did you find the energy to do it on both ends?
Yeah.
It's not the easy. You said it was hard.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing to do.
Right. I think it's all hard. It's about if you want it or not, and I want it. And I think I take the challenge and the pride of just being the best defensive player that I know I can be. And like you said, it is hard to score 25 and have to chase their best player around. But a lot of great players that came through here and even the next level do it. So I feel like why can't I? And that's something that has been like a key. I think it's also my mentality of just going out there and just giving my all, whether it's offensively or defensively. So it's hard, but it's not something that I can't do.
This was your 8th 25-point game of the season. What do you need to do to keep on getting to that mark each game?
Just staying who I am, staying resilient, and my teammates do a good job of finding me. Mondo sets great screens for me. Elliot does a good job of finding me, but also do a good job of when I do have the ball, kind of just making myself available and creating space in the one-on-one situations. But at the same time, just score within the flow of the offense. Don't try to do anything that abnormal that I haven't been doing all season. So just taking one game at a time and just continue to keep doing what I'm doing.